OFPG Voices is brought to you by the following sponsors. Board&Dice designs and publishes family and strategy board games. Two of their most recent releases are Talatum and Terracotta Army. They have recently launched their ally program to lend support to underrepresented voices in the hobby. Flatout Games is the award-winning board game design and publishing collaborative that brought you Point Salad, Calico, Verdant, Fit to Print, and the 2022 Spiel des Jahres winner, Cascadia. Visit flatout.games to find out more. Floodgate Games, creating everlasting experiences through gaming. Floodgate is best known for Sagrada and its family of expansions, as well as other great games like Fog of Love, Decorum, and most recently Kites. To learn more, visit floodgate.games. World Series of Board Gaming in Las Vegas, September 24th to the 28th. It has 16 different games to compete in, an open gaming library, and a grand prize of $25,000. So there's something for you if you're a casual gamer or a competitive one. For tickets, check out WSBGVegas.com. Use referral code OFPG23 for a $40 discount off the Stay and Play or Quadruple Ring event packages. Hi everybody, I'm Starla.
I'm Mick.
And we are
Our Family Plays Games. Voices, yes. Yes. And Happy New Year. Yeah.
This is the first episode.
First one.
For 2023.
And we're going to keep rolling. Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, and this month.
Yes.
In January.
Yes.
We celebrate National Hobby Month.
Really?
Yes.
It's a hobby month?
There's a hobby month.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Now.
All right.
And this is the perfect time
yes.
for us to focus on the hobby that we love.
Yes.
Board games.
Board gaming.
Now, hobbies can bring generations together,
yes.
give people a sense of accomplishment,
yes.
and instill a lifelong love of learning and creativity.
Yes. And I think also, you know, like self-help, mm-hmm. mental health, because mm-hmm. this helps your mental health too.
Oh, board games go beyond all that.
Yes, all that.
I mean, that's just some of the things that hobbies do for people.
That's cool. That's
so
cool.
We're in a really good hobby.
We're in a great hobby.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, it's a great hobby. Yes, yes, yes.
And this week, we have 3 awesome contributors coming to you.
Yes, we do.
Well, actually, we have 4, because BlackBoard Gaming is 2.
It's 2. Yes, it's 2. Yes.
So we have Dwayne and Alicia from BlackBoard Gaming.
Yes.
And they're going to talk about a baking game called Kim Joy's Magic Bakery.
I can't wait to hear what they got to say.
Me too.
I can't wait.
And then after that, we're going to have Luis from LAMF Games. Mm-hmm. And he's going to honor National Hobby Month and discuss Blockers.
Okay, Blockers. Mm-hmm. All right, all right.
And then right after that, we're going to have Reggie from Rollin' Reg.
Yes.
And he's going to give honor to National Hobby Month.
Okay.
And he's discussing 3 games.
Uh-oh, uh-oh.
Yes, he's going to discuss Bang, the dice game.
Okay.
Lotus.
Okay.
And King Domino.
Let's do it now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
So, let's have some fun.
But first, family, you know we got to hear from my beautiful wife in this brand new year of 2023 with her Good Humor segment. Let's hear it.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Good Humans. Happy New Year. This is the first Good Humans segment of the new year. Now, as we embark on another exciting new year, usually we will make a list of what they call New Year's resolutions. Now, a resolution is when a person resolves to continue good practices, change bad habits or behaviors, or try to accomplish a personal goal. In other words, a person decides to be better this year than they were last year. It is a tradition found in most parts of the Western world and in some parts of the East. This year, I hope we all make resolutions and keep them. I know it can be hard to make a resolution and follow through with it, but I also know it can be done. It's going to take a little extra effort and some time and some dedication. Now, making the resolution will work to keep you focused because the ability to accomplish the resolution is already within you. Now, when making your list of resolutions, be sure to make at least one resolution that goes beyond yourself. I know your list will include things like getting in shape, eating healthier, stop procrastinating, and for my husband, play more board games. But think about doing something outside of self-gratification. Maybe donate some time or volunteer with a nonprofit organization or commit a random act of kindness. Volunteer at your child's school or a public library. Add one resolution to your list that goes beyond you and your personal goals and needs. Just do something for someone. Because your sacrifice to do something for someone else could be the spark that lights 1,000 candles. Now, here at Our Family Plays Games, in addition to our normal list of resolutions, we've decided to volunteer at one of our local nonprofit organizations. Now, we'll definitely keep you posted on this resolution and give you updates on our progress, because we want to do something that goes outside of us so that we can really practice being good humans. Now, my challenge to you is to do the same and let us know about it. Send us a note or a message telling us, what resolution you're going to make to be a good human to help others. Now, as we always say here at OFPG Voices, our goal is to make this world a better place, one board game at a time.
What's up, folks? I'm Dwayne.
I'm Alicia.
From BlackBoard Gaming. I guess you're all wondering why we're all shuffed up today. And that's because we're going to talk about this little game right here, Kim Joy's Magic Bakery.
Kim Joy's Magic Bakery was designed by Ben Kepner and published by Skybound.
Let's go to the table for an overview of how this game is played. And welcome to Kim Joy's Magic Bakery. To set up the game, we will first create a deck of 7 customer cards and place it in the upper left-hand corner of the play area and reveal the first customer to be served. Then we would take the layer cards. There are 6 different layers, and we will sort them by type. These don't get shuffled, and we would create a row of those right beneath the customer deck. Then we would take this deck of ingredient cards, give that a good shuffle, and then reveal 5 ingredients face up below the layers row. Then each player is going to draw 3 ingredients into their hand. That's their starting hand. We're going to make sure this player 8 is nearby. And then whoever was the last person to bake something will get this first player token. And now we can start the game. So of course, we're trying to fulfill customers' orders. Now, on a player's turn, they're going to take a number of actions based on the number of players. So this is a setup for a 2-player game. So each player is going to get 3 actions. So there are 5 actions they can do, and they can take those actions any number of times. So the first action they can do is they can just take an ingredient into their hand. And if they don't like anything that's out here, they can take an ingredient off the top of the deck. So let's say I take this ingredient, sugar, add it to my hand. And then we will replace that. The second action we could take is we can create a layer. So let's look at this customer real quick. He's looking for shortbread biscuits, which needs biscuit and icing, which are both layers. So this biscuit, in order to bake this biscuit, I need eggs, flour, and sugar. I have eggs, flour, and sugar. So as a second action, I can discard these to a discard pile next to the ingredients deck. And then I will take this biscuit card into my hand. I've baked some biscuits. Now, the third action I can take is to give a card to another player. So you can't just outright show people your hand, but you can openly communicate across the board. So let's say I tell player 2, hey, I made the biscuit. Here, I'm going to give you this. So that's the third action I can take. The fourth action I can take is I can fulfill an order. So let's say the second player, they had the biscuit that I gave them, and they were able to make this icing. So as an action, they can fulfill that order. So they would discard these. Now discarding layers, they just go back to their specific decks. And then we would take this customer. He's happy. We put him next to our play area, next to us, for scoring later. Now, once the fifth action that a player can take is if they don't like any of the ingredients out here, they can wipe. So they can take these, place them in the discard pile, and reveal 5 more ingredients. So those are the 5 actions a player can take on their turn. Now, once all players have taken their turn, we will go into the next round, is where we will reveal the next customer. Now, this guy wants chocolate chip scones. It needs chocolate, which is an ingredient, and he needs pastry. But there's also a garnish. Now, if we actually fulfill this order along with the garnish, then we will get a bonus effect. And the bonus effects come into play if we're playing through the scenarios. There are 10 different scenarios in this game. Now, if once we reveal the next customer, if there was a customer still there, they will move to the right. And if a customer ever gets more than 3 spaces away from the customer deck, then we will lose that customer. He's disappointed, he leaves the store. And that's pretty much it about this game. We're trying to fulfill as many orders as possible and then check our score. So there's a few reasons why we wanted to tell you folks about this game.
First of all, it's a fun, family-weight, cooperative game. This game kids can play independently of adults.
Yeah, it is a really light game to get into. Another reason is this is the time of year when people are staying indoors. So people tend to do a lot of baking, especially around the holidays. Like she just made a peach cobbler, which was really, really good.
Thank you.
I did enjoy that peach cobbler.
Also, on January 23rd, it is National Pie Day.
Yep. So I don't remember seeing pie in here.
I don't think there was pie in there.
But pies are made in bakeries.
Yes, they are.
Do you have a favorite pie?
Key lime pie.
Oh, you like key lime pie?
Oh no, I love
key lime pie. Oh, you love key lime pie.
I love key lime pie.
I like sweet potato pie.
Sweet potato pie is good too.
Now, you know what go good with pie?
What?
Ice cream.
Ice cream goes good with pie.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, January 15th is National Strawberry Ice Cream Day.
So there you have it.
Yeah, we really did enjoy our plays of this game. See you guys later.
What's up, everybody? My name is Reggie, and you can find me at rolling.reggie on Instagram. Happy New Year, happy almost MLK Jr. Day, and also happy National Hobby Month. So today, I'm going to talk about 3 games that got me into what we now call the hobby of modern board gaming. So these are my 3 gateway games that were most influential to me. So when I had just come out of college, I still was trying to hang out with my friends and have game nights, even though my collection was pretty measly back then. And I had a coworker who was pretty into games, and he offered me a game that could accommodate 8 people. And that one is Bang the Dice Game. Now, this is published by, and I'm going to butcher this, DV Giochi, which is an Italian company, and it is designed by Michael Palm and Lucas Zach. And what drew me to this is, and how I used to describe it is, it's just Yahtzee with Mafia. So it's a hidden roll game where you get to roll your dice up to 3 times. There's one sheriff, a couple deputies, an outlaw, and a renegade in this Wild West theme. And you're going around trying to be the last team alive and figure out who your teammates are. But what really blew my mind with this game, coming from video games mostly, is that it was the first board game that really had variable player powers. There's all these different characters, and they have different powers to manipulate the dice or be immune to certain hazards. And I just really love that about it. And still to this day, almost a decade later, this comes out on my guys' weekends in 2023 now. So that's number 1, Bang the Dice Game. Number 2 was introduced at a board game cafe in British Columbia, actually, with my then girlfriend, now wife, and this is called Lotus. I feel like this is kind of floated a little under the radar. It's by Renegade Studios, a game by Jordan and Mandy Goddard. They are a couple that designs games. Must be nice. Beautiful game. It's actually, when we played it though, turns out it's a very cutthroat area control game with flowers and cute little bugs. But what I loved about it, and you can kind of see it on the back, is that you actually use the cards to splay out these beautiful flowers that you're trying to have more of your symbols on. And that's kind of the crux of it. There's some powers in it and end game victory points and stuff, but it is a gorgeous game that really always draws the eye, and I still whip it out every now and then to introduce someone who's completely new to games, but I want to get them into board games. So that's number 2, Lotus. And the final game is going to be one of my favorite gateway games for still to this day, and that is King Domino. Beautiful game. It's got many different iterations nowadays. It is designed by Bruno Cathala. We love him. And it is published by Blue-Orange Games. And it's just one of those games that, again, it kind of blew me away because there's no board. I mean, you make your own kingdom and you're drafting tiles from the middle. I'm sure many of you have played it by now, but for a new person to the hobby, it's really just kind of flips your idea of a board game on its head. There's no dice, there's no racing, there's no board, and then you're drafting, and then that one time your wife puts her meeple on that tile that you really wanted, and there you go, you got the bug, because you're like, wait, that's what I needed and I hate you. And that is the type of gameplay that drafting gives, and then the tile placement and everything. It's beautiful, it's elegant, it won the Spiel des Jahres for a reason, and that was really one of the games that turned me towards looking into this hobby seriously. So those are my 3. Thank you for watching, and shout out to OFPG as always, and here's your next Voices member.
Hello mi familia, this is LAMF Games, a board game publishing company in the making, and the first thing that we're going to talk about is Happy New Year. I hope that you had a great time during the holidays, and we're also going to talk today about the National Hobby Month. And with that, I will talk about the game that really got me into board gaming, and I think you all know what it is. You all know it, you all love it, it's Monopoly.
Boo this man!
Alright, so I will put that one away for now, but I will keep making that joke over and over again. Hello, mi fa. Oh, you all know it. But the game that really got me into board gaming and showed me what board games could be and the amount of board games that there were out there, really, it was Blockus. Blockus is a really fun game from 2 to 4 players, and it takes around 30 minutes to play. And you can play this with beginners, you can play this with your family, you can play with this anyone, because it's such a simple game to teach, but it's very challenging and it's really, really fun. The amount of board gamers, Islam. The game is played over a board that has over 400 squares where you can put your pieces down. Now, at the beginning of the game, each player will pick a different color. There is blue, yellow, red, and green. Each color comes with 21 different pieces, and each piece is in different shapes, and the shapes can have either 1 square, 2 squares, 3 squares, 4 squares, and 5 squares. The goal of the game is to have the least amount of squares by the end of the game. Now, you do that by putting the most amount of squares on the board before the game is over. Each player will start at an opposite corner, and from there they will start putting pieces down and increasing their territory. You can put a piece down if you put it diagonally to another of your pieces. If you're the red player, you cannot put a red square next to another red square. They can be diagonally, but they cannot be right next to each other. Though you can put your own square next to other people's squares, and that's completely valid to do. Now, other players can block your pieces diagonally, so you are no longer able to use those, so you need to keep an eye on what other players are doing while you're trying to expand your territory. There might come a time where you are not able to put more squares down because other people block your squares and you have nowhere else to go, so you're just out for the rest of the game. When no player can put more squares on the board, then you will count the amount of squares that you have on the pieces left for you. The player that has the least amount of squares is the one who wins. There's blue, yellow games from two. So the best strategies to win this game are: first of all, at the beginning of the game, separate your pieces so you can see what you have left. Also, as soon as the game starts, try to use the ones with the weirdest shapes because those are harder to use by the end of the game. But also you want to use the ones that will get you to the center of the board the quickest. If you get to the center of the board before anyone else, that means that you can expand to the right, you can expand to the left, or you can go forward. Now, as the game progresses, the game becomes harder and harder since there are less squares on the board to put your pieces on. And since you cannot put your squares next to your own squares, that limits the movement that you can have. Now, another thing to keep in mind is that some squares on the board might be open for the taking, but no one else will be able to take them for a while, and you do have an opening. But since no one else is gonna be able to take them for a while, then try to take other squares and try to block other people in other places, so later in the game where movement is very limited, then you can take these pieces for yourself. And that's everything that you need to know about Blockus. Now, this is a really fun game, and I do hope that you try it out and have fun, and I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye. And the first thing that we're gonna talk on the new year is, I don't know.
All right, we've done it. Another awesome show.
Starla, did you see Dwayne and Alicia in costume? They ready to really, they gonna bake.
But you know, they look cute.
Yeah, they did.
They look really
They
cute.
look really
with
cute.
their
Yes,
hats
yeah.
on
But they
and
was
stuff.
just, they ready to go.
Yeah.
I mean, they in theme.
Yes, they
That's
are.
how you do theme,
That's
y'all.
right.
There you go. There you go. And then, Blockus, we don't have that in the collection, but it's really, I've heard a lot about it, so I'm gonna have to look into
Well,
that.
Luis really likes it. He really went in depth talking about the game, so we got to check it out.
You gotta check it out. And he's always funny as ever.
He's funny.
Always funny. He is the comedian, I tell you, the comedian. Now, Reggie.
Yeah.
Now we don't have Bang the Dice game. We don't have that, but we have Lotus. Love Lotus.
Yes, we do.
Very cool little, card game.
Yes.
Building the little flowers and stuff. And King Domino.
Yeah.
That's a classic now.
Yeah.
That's a classic. So that's a good gateway.
great
So I like
games.
that. Yes, great games. Great games.
So we want to say thank you again to our awesome contributors
Yes.
and our awesome sponsors.
Yes.
Board&Dice.
Yes.
Floodgate Games.
Yes.
And Flatout Games.
Yes, yes, yes.
And our newest sponsor, World Series of Board Gaming.
In Las Vegas, baby. Yes, yes, yes. But Starla, what about our merch?
Well, if you're looking for shirts for Our Family Plays Games,
Yes.
or OFPG Voices,
We are.
We've got a lot to choose from. We've got our Good Human shirts.
Yes.
We've got our Better Place, Make the World a Better Place.
Our
one board
logo,
gamer at a
the
time.
logo.
The logo shirts. Check us out on spring.com. Get a shirt for yourself, a family, a friend. Yeah.
Now, family, hey, the next episode is January 25th, 2023. So that's our next one. But first, Starla, where can people find us? Where can they find OFPG Voices and all these beautiful voices that we have, or just OFPG? Where can they find us out there in that social media world?
Well, if you're looking for Our Family Plays Games
Yes.
and OFPG Voices,
Yes.
you can find us on Facebook,
Yep.
Instagram,
Yes.
Twitter,
Yes.
and right here on YouTube.
Right here. Family, thank you so much for coming out and just seeing these beautiful voices. Definitely check on our great sponsors and check them out because they're doing a great thing sponsoring us, and we're just gonna keep on rolling in 2023. But family, keep coming with the questions and just talking to us. We love hearing from you. But there's one thing, family, and one thing we want you to always know. We love you.
Bye
now.
everybody.